Hello, this is Jay with Illumine Reiki Academy. And today I want to speak to something that almost every Reiki practitioner experiences at some point in their path. And that is when we have those moments where Reiki feels very quiet. A student will often say to me, I don't feel anything anymore when I do Reiki. And the first thing I think is, we're not going to fix this because there's nothing to fix. But I'll then go and gently ask, so what has shifted inside of you personally? What has changed in your practice or within you? And sometimes what is happening is not that Reiki has become quiet, but that something deeper is asking for our attention. There may be a layer of healing that is coming forward. There may be some emotional or mental noise that has increased. Or there may be a simple moment where Reiki is inviting you to listen more intently. But Reiki is always present. I have worked with students who have never felt strong sensation at all when they've worked with Reiki, and yet they are very powerful healers. So the absence of sensation is not the absence of Reiki. And very often when what we are experiencing is not Reiki becoming quiet, but our own internal noise becoming much too loud. We may be thinking more, trying more, or we may be wanting some specific outcome to happen. And without realizing it, we begin to drown out those beautiful, subtle presences of Reiki. In those moments, the practice is not to force the energy to return. The practice is to soften and to allow. I have experienced this many times in my own journey, usually during periods of stress or emotional dissonance. Reiki would start to feel quiet to me. And when I started examining this more honestly, I could see that it wasn't Reiki that had changed, but it was my own state of being. And so there were times where I could recognize that and do some self-Reiki on myself, and I was able to come back into balance. And there were times where I was struggling a bit more, and I needed the support of another Reiki practitioner. And both aspects were very, very important in trying to get in touch with that Reiki feeling. There was a moment here recently where I was working on a Reiki project, and I was trying to find some inspiration, and nothing was coming. I felt Reiki felt quiet. So I just simply stepped into a meditation, released myself of all outcome, and instead of trying to direct what I was receiving, I just became still. And in that stillness, something opened. A deeper awareness came forward that completely shifted the direction of the project. And then what I realized in that moment was that Reiki wasn't silent. I just wasn't listening. I wasn't opening to receiving. So sometimes Reiki becomes quiet because it is asking us to become quieter. Another misunderstanding that can come up during these moments is that there is something wrong with you, and students will feel like they are flawed or they have somewhere lost that connection. Some even feel that they may have done something wrong and feel guilty about it. But remember, Reiki doesn't judge, and it's going to meet each one of us, especially you. It's going to meet each one of us exactly where we are. It is patient, it is steady, and it is always willing to work with us, whatever we may allow. There is nothing about each one of us that makes us unworthy. Nothing. And this is where we begin to understand something really important. You do not need to feel something for Reiki to be working. Your mind appreciates the sensation and it loves that feedback, but Reiki does not depend on that. And there have been moments in sessions where the energy feels very quiet when I've done sessions, and instead of questioning it, I moved into an attitude of gratitude. So I sent gratitude for Reiki, gratitude for my client, and gratitude for the healing that was unfolding. And in that gratitude, I felt this beautiful deepening of the energy. Not always a stronger sensation, but this beautiful, deeper presence. So if you're in one of those moments right now, I want to offer you something simple. Bring your hands up to your heart a few minutes each day and then gently repeat within yourself, I allow Reiki to come into my presence fully. I invite Reiki to remove my blocks and distractions. I accept Reiki's influence to empower me today. I offer gratitude for the healing that Reiki shines on me. Let that be enough. You do not need to force anything. And if you notice doubt or frustration coming forward, just pause and ask yourself, am I trying to control the outcome? Or am I allowing Reiki to guide this process? Because remember, Reiki does not respond to force. It responds to our presence. So even in the quiet, Reiki is working, sometimes very in subtle ways. You may start to notice some small shifts, moments of clarity, or unexpected synchronicities. Or simply that the fact that Reiki is on your mind, that alone is a sign that it is present with you. So this week I want to invite you to simply reflect on this. Think about a time when Reiki felt quiet for you. What was happening in your life at that time? And what did you learn from that experience? And if this happens again, can you begin to see that it is not a loss, but it is an invitation? Because sometimes when Reiki becomes quiet, it is not stepping away from you. It's actually stepping closer and asking you to listen more deeply. And as you continue your journey, you may find that these moments are guiding you into deeper training, deeper support, or a deeper relationship with Reiki itself. So just be open to where Reiki is leading you next. And as we close, I want you to remember this. Even in the quietest moments, you are supported, you are guided, and you are deeply loved. So just know also that I deeply love each one of my students and whoever may be watching this. And know that I continue to send you Reiki healing and blessings. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you so much for your time.